Good morning, Living Waters. Welcome back to our coffee together. It's Monday, but it's a good week ahead of us. Great things are happening. And as we heard yesterday, it's a great day. As we heard yesterday in the sermon, this idea that God is not transactional. God is relational. What a great theme to explore in the coffee videos together because shocker, it's all over Scripture. You notice that? That's like a case of almost all these. It's like God's really consistent. And the Bible is a story of God and God's people and their relationship. Let's dive in. Exodus chapter 20. This is the chapter with the Ten Commandments. Yes, Exodus 20. The people have been freed from Egypt. They're now in the wilderness. And for their new life together, what's it going to look like, right? The people are already, and even after this passage, we'll see with the golden calf, right? The people are already having doubts. They're not sure how it's going to work. Can we trust this God who just did, 10 plagues and freed us and, separated the Red Sea? That was all really great and all. But, can we really trust this God? What's this really going to look like? Maybe Egypt wasn't so bad, right? And so, I don't know. If I were God, and Moses, I think, is in the same boat, Moses kind of lets vents to God. It's like, oh, these stiff-necked people are driving me nuts. You've done all these things for them, and yet they're still unconvinced. Right? The law is given as a way for God and the people to continue in relationship with one another. We talk about law and gospel, and everyone loves the gospel part, the good news. Jesus, God of the world, that God gave God's only Son, right? To have this relationship with God and creation. But the law also speaks to that same thing. God is the giver of law and gospel. It's not, just the stuff the boring, dry stuff we want to skip over. Oh yeah, and the good news. No. The law is formative of how we live our life. It is formative of how we can work with God in loving God and neighbor. It's one of the first fun lessons, I think, of confirmation every year when we talk with the confirmands about why does God give the law? Why is this so important? And where do you see the gospel in this law-heavy passage? Like I said, I point as 10 Commandments. You could use a lot of laws, but I think 10 Commandments speaks to it best, as Luther talks about in the Small Catechism. By if you look at it, the first two of having no other gods before me and not taking the Lord's name in vain, which, by the way, is more than just cursing. It's misattributing God's name to wrong things, which is actually more pertinent, I think, than saying bad words. Anyway, those are for loving God. Sabbath, one could argue that is for loving God. I would argue it's for neighbor because Jesus tells us the Sabbath was made for humankind, not for God. And then certainly 4 through 10 is all for love of neighbor. God's clear. This is where you probably need more help. Don't steal, don't kill, don't covet, don't honor your parents. This law will help us live better in relationship with God and with neighbor. That's the whole point of the law. The law is actually founded in love. This is why we should try to do our best. Even though we are forgiven and we are redeemed, we are given new life so we can live out this law. So we can have better relationships in every part of our life. All right. Good start. We're going to tap into a unique book tomorrow.